Is it possible to set a number to NaN or infinity? Is it possible to set an element of an array to NaN in Python? Additionally, is it possible to set a variable to +/infinity? If so, is there any function to check whether a number is infinity or not?
Cast from string using float.
Yes, you can use NumPy for that.
Is it possible to set a number to NaN or infinity? Yes, in fact there are several ways. A few work without any imports, while others require import. However, for this answer I'll limit the libraries in the overview to standard library and NumPy, which isn't standard library but a very common third-party library. The following table summarizes the ways how one can create a not a number or a positive or negative infinity float. A couple remarks to the table. The float constructor is actually case insensitive, so you can also use float NaN, or float infinity. The cth and numpy constants return plain Python float objects. The numpy.ninf is actually the only constant I know of that doesn't require the. It is possible to create complex NaN and infinity with complex and cth. The options with superscript 1 return a plain float, not a complex. Is there any function to check whether a number is infinity or not? Yes, there is. In fact, there are several functions for NaN, infinity, and neither NaN nor inf. However, these predefined functions are not built in, they always require an import. Again, a couple of remarks. The cth and numpy functions also work for complex objects. They will check if either real or imaginary part is NaN or infinity. The numpy functions also work for numpy arrays and everything that can be converted to 1, like lists, tuple, etc. There are also functions that explicitly check for positive and negative infinity in numpy, numpy.isPasinf, and numpy.isNginf. Pandas offers two additional functions to check for NaN, pandas.isNa, and pandas.isNull, but not only NaN. It matches also none and nat. Even though there are no built-in functions, it would be easy to create them yourself. I neglected type checking and documentation here. To summarize the expected results for these functions, assuming the input is a float. Is it possible to set an element of an array to NaN in Python? In a list it's no problem, you can always include NaN, or infinity, there. However, if you want to include it in an array, for example array.array or numpy.array, then the type of the array must be float or complex because otherwise it will try to downcast it to the array's type.
When using Python 2.4, try. I'm facing the issue when I was porting the simpleton to an embedded device which running the Python 2.4, float 9e999, fixed it. Don't use int equals 9e999, you need convert it from string. Int gives the infinity.
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.